we all come to meet Chadelaide. He's probably the nicest friend that we made. He shows us in and points us to all the weapons on display. To the house we all come to meet Chadelaide. To the house we all come to meet Chadelaide. He's probably the nicest friend that we made. He shows us in and points to all the weapons on display. To the house we all come to meet Chadelaide. Mendel comes good on his word and helps us to get there. On the way we see that something the ruler is unfair. We'll soon find this out for ourselves. So Father, welcome, overwhelmed. The adventure continues.
So Chadelaide goes through these doors, and for about 30 seconds or so, you're left alone. Anything you want to do before you move on?
Right, there's no guards around. Right, what's the plan? Are we just going to go in there, see if we can find the glaive and just kick the shit out of him and then leg it? What will we do?
Well, I think we should see how easy it is to escape. If we let's find the glaive, and then if it's easy to escape, try and do so discreetly. But if we have to fight our way out, then so be it.
That's going to be a tough old fight, though.
Will it?
Well, we've only seen a little bit, and presumably there's guards elsewhere.
Yeah, but they're just guards.
Just innocent guards.
Yeah.
What's the reputation of this guy? Is he like a bit of a wrong-un, or is?
Yeah, he's an absolute wrong-un.
He's
So
to kill the other guy.
He's a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's revisit that. Let's just have a bit of pause in it. So
I couldn't remember if it's worth killing him or not. But
so just to recap some of the things you know about this, right? Okay, Dabov has a particular insight into this guy because he, I think we rolled for this previously. He recalls the name from Waterdeep. He was essentially kicked out of Waterdeep. He was Lord Protector down there. He was kicked out of there for embezzlement. So he has a reputation as being a bit of a shady character. Since then, the things you've heard about him was Rufflecopter essentially said that, long story short, he tried to have Ruffle killed, potentially because he said that he was the heir to the throne, although that's just rumour and hearsay. Rufflecopter was, by his own admission, a con man who had conned one of this guy's concubines. Since you've been in the city, the first person you asked about it was the lady who looked after the teleportation circles, and she said he's a mixed bag. He's a politician, therefore some people like him, some people don't like him. You've not really spoken to too many people in town around it, but there's, aside from you obviously had the graffiti of Neverwinter deserves better. Mendel doesn't really have an opinion on the fella, but equally knows why there's been a bit of an uproar, suggesting that there was that the nobles have been taxed heavily and are trying to whip up some common folk to depose of this fella.
He taxes the wealthy. That seems a bit of a good thing to do, surely.
No, it's up to you to decide that, isn't it? Obviously, Ruffle was killed, but you don't know why he was killed or who killed him or anything like that. Admittedly, obviously, his head was he was a wanted man. So you don't know anything beyond that other than some strange woman.
If we saw her,
possibly.
We haven't seen her so far. No,
you only saw her for a second or two at a distance. So possibly you might. I mean, and it's been about 3 or 4 days since then, 5 days, something like that. So
okay,
you might.
I'll be keeping an eye out for her just in case.
Okay, all right. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Let's go.
So after about 30 seconds to a minute, something like that, Chadelaide comes back into the hallway and leaving the door open this time, essentially inviting you inside. And he sort of leaves the door open for you to walk through. Do you wish to walk through? Do you want him to
Would have
walk
thought
through
so, yeah.
first?
Yeah, he'd go first and lead us out.
What can we see through the door, though?
As you look through the door, you can see pretty much the similar sort of scene that you could see through the window. This is a garden for all intents and purposes. There's steps leading down from these double doors into although it's not on the map, there's you can see that there's a bench or two out there. There's this large, I say large, this semi-large tree stationed in the middle, and there's some flower beds and there's hedges around the outside. You can see that there are two guards, the one that you saw through the window, and you can see a second guard, which is down in the southeast corner. However, what you can see is this noble fella who is stationed at the south of the courtyard. Near some double doors that lead up from some steps. He is currently tending to and looking at a couple of flowers in the flower bed. And as you walk through the door, Chadelaide, you said Chadelaide you wanted to go first, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So he walks through the door, leading you out, and he stands off to one side, over by the tree, just a bit further in actually, just over by the tree, and he says, "My Excellency, the Lord Protector of Neverwinter, Loraga Swordhand, may I present to you Ima, Finch, Derek, Quill, and Dermal." And just as he finishes that, you just hear, "Now, no need for formality. Not with familiar. Hello there, Euclid. It's been many years. Do you not wish to say hello to your uncle, Loraga?" And as he says that, he sort of stands up, and you take in this guy. He's an elf. He's portly, but not fat or anything like that. But he's just round faced, got a little bit of a tummy on him. Bearded fella. Oh, by the way, he's got a birthmark across his left eye.
Is he incredibly handsome?
He is fairly handsome, but with a bit of weight. You can see that. You know, if he shed a few pounds,
does weight make someone not handsome?
Sometimes not. But you can see that there's a fairly decent looking fella there. But you know, you can tell that behind it all, there's an even sexier man. Come in. I said hello, Euclid.
Euclid?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, who's Euclid?
I'm sorry, my friend Chadelaide said that the name was not amongst it, but I recognise the birthmark nevertheless, Euclid.
Are you referring to the fella over there? And very clearly points at Dweezil as Euclid.
Yeah, well, of course. Why? I mean, we share the same thing. The eye, the eyes, the pointy ears, and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I can see a similarity, but you are mistaken, sir. My name is
Dermal.
My name is Dermal. My name is not.
To jump in there, Dermal.
And he strides over. No, I do not think that is the case, sir. And he walks up to you and he grabs you by the shoulders and he looks you over. He says, "Yes, I know this face anywhere. Admittedly, you were a baby and shitting your pants last time I saw you. But no, that's definitely the face of Euclid. Euclid's sword hand. I'd know it anywhere."
Thank you, Toast. But I assure you, you are mistaken. It is unusual. Where did you see? Where was your nephew? You say where did you see this nephew Euclid?
Roll me perception. Just Dweezil on this.
15.
Dweezil advantage. The rest of you straight.
Dweezil, just ask your uncle for
18.
the blade and we can go.
18.
5.
8.
Yeah,
21.
10. Nothing special.
Okay, so Greg notices it, and Dweezil with his 18 will notice this. This birthmark is identical to yours. It's not just you both have a birthmark over your eye. It is exactly the same shape, size, and formation as the one on your eye. And even as you look at you, he says, "I have not mistaken, sir. There are not many people with an eye that looks like this, and you are the only other person I know with one. Unless you have a son, of course."
where you say you saw me? Let's suppose it was me as a baby. Where was this?
Oh, many years ago, when we were all down south near Baldur's Gate in a wonderful city or wonderful town. We were in a wonderful place called Elturel. I am your father's brother. Your father, Francis. Your mother, Gail.
Well,
I don't think anyone hates this more than I don't know, Stuart. Stuart feels like really hates this.
well,
I know what he's typing as well.
well. No, I know, and because Nathan, you. So for those people that aren't aware, so Dweezil is named after Dweezil Zappa, and Dweezil Zappa's parents were called Francis and Gail, and Euclid is one of Dweezil Zappa's real names because he was called Donald Calvin Euclid Zappa.
But how's that relevant to someone called
That's
Dermal?
weird. I just picked like 3 random names.
Of course you did, yeah.
Dermal, what were the names of your parents?
I mean, I've never stated it canonically before, so I don't.
Yeah.
Are we saying that that's canon, Nathan?
You can decide what you want to say. I mean, it's up to you whether you wish for these. He's basically calling you by Euclid Swordhand.
Yeah,
That's the name he has given you.
and
He is asserting that you are the son of Francis Swordhand and Gail Swordhand.
I mean,
Whether or not you wish for those to be the first names is up to you. Certainly isn't the surname.
no. I mean, it's not my surname. No. This is very strange, sir. I assure you, this is some strange coincidence. I also have never seen anyone with the same birthmark as me, and I am terribly confused. But I assure you, sir, I am not your nephew. There must be. I think it is an incredible coincidence, but it is a coincidence nevertheless that I have found myself here with a striking resemblance to you. Perhaps we are related, but distantly. I don't know.
Just at this moment, you start to feel your eye itch.
I'm making an assumption that this is the evil man.
And you, almost to that point, you hear a voice in your head that says,
Kill the evil man.
"It is him."
Yeah.
Listen, you can deny this all you want, but I am your uncle and you are my nephew, Euclid. Or should I call you Dermal? Wink. Is that your name?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we're addressing people by their names, yeah, perhaps you should call me Dermal, yes.
Okay, Dermal Swordhand. Is that correct?
No, Dermal Finzelbonk.
Okay, Dermal Finzelbonk. I think I knew some of the Finzelbonks down in Waterdeep. Listen, it's clear that you are struggling with this information. Chadelaide, is the dining room ready for us to go through? And Chadelaide says, "Yo, yeah, it's totally ready. We can sit everyone down and we can have a nice, calming meal, yeah." Excellent. Well then, I suggest that we all step into the dining room and we can powwow with some chow.
That would be lovely.
Okay. After you, and he sort of gestures for you all to basically go out the way you came.
Well, after you, because we don't know.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Chadelaide, lead the way.
Yeah, and Chadelaide does indeed lead the way. And in fact, he leads you out into the corridor and back to, there was a single door that was opposite these double doors. And he sort of walks straight into there and again sort of waits for you to join him after.
It's weird, isn't it? I can only assume. I suppose that there is some kind of link through the Fae thing to this man, and he is perhaps been maybe he has been like Fae touched by the the archfey that's speaking in my head, and maybe has like double crossed him or.
What was the name of Dweezil where he used to live? Was it Yestable? Something like that?
Larithenbull.
Larithenbull.
Well, west of Larithenbull, born and raised.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Chadelaide walks you into this dining room, which hopefully you can now see. As you walk in, you can see that there's a dining table set up for 8 spaces.
Yep.
There are also there's a number of guards stationed around the room, and they all look pretty much similar to the ones that you've seen around, except for one, a particularly pock-faced man who looks very angry, red-skinned, and across his back is a glaive.
Oh!
Also, as you walk into the room, you see seated at one of the seats a young woman dressed in earth tones. Daboff, can you roll me perception? No, roll me intelligence at advantage.
Advantage. I've rolled 18 plus 3, 21.
You recognise this as the woman that was stood on the walls of Xanthal's Keep who murdered Rothelcopter.
Oh, fuck.
Have an inspiration.
Thank you.
You've earned it tonight. So, yeah, you all go in and Chadelaide says, "So, just take a seat now." And Loraga follows you, as do the guards that were with him. And he goes and sits at the seat, the head of the table.
Was the glaive described to us when we were up in the place where we would Zymorven Hall, is it? And as such, do we recognise the glaive on the back of the Podge Pock Red man is the glaive?
It wasn't described to you, no. But what you will say is this doesn't look like just a bog standard glaive that you might have seen made at an armourer's, a smithy or anything like this. It looks a little bit more chunky, a little bit more angry. You can't obviously get a proper look at it because it's across his back and everything, but it definitely doesn't look. It doesn't look like typical guard's glaive. Let's put it that way.
Very interesting.
Which of the
I think it might be
guards?
the glaive.
Which of the guards is the one with the glaive? Which of these tokens?
It's the top right one, but I'll put.
So as we go through the door, it's the one directly above us.
The one with the red mark.
Yeah. So I will walk in. Is that where you're going to place yourself, Daboff?
Yeah, I'm either going to
Derek.
sit in one of these 2 seats next to whatever his name is, your uncle, potential uncle.
Can you go around the other side of the table, please?
I can.
I am going to enter the room and I am going to move to the seat next to my uncle. But as I walk past, I'm just going to wink at Rocky.
Okay.
I might say, "You're right, pal." I'm not going to sit.
Yes, I'm okay.
Krill hovers by the door.
Now. There's no need for you to worry. Come on in, take a seat.
Quinch takes a seat at the south of the table.
Next to the assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As does Greg, but the opposite side of the table, not on Quinch's lap.
Despite not being asked, Mendel comes into the room, obviously still pretending to be a guard, so he's just going to station himself next to.
And just this fucking Harry Enfield looking fucking 118 man just appears in this room.
Sorry, Krill, why are you not taking a seat?
I just not specifically yet, just hovering a bit.
I imagine for the same reason that I'm not taking a seat.
Yeah, why the fuck does he not get questioned on his refusal to
sorry,
seat?
did you say you're not taking a seat?
Oh,
sorry.
no, I'm going to stand like with my hands on the back of the chair, like.
Oh no! I mean, please take a seat. This is our opportunity to dine as guests. You would be doing me an awful disservice if you were not to sit.
Where I am from, it is customary that before we are all seated at the table, that we are all introduced. I appreciate that we're not where I am from, but it is a It is a deep-rooted habit and a deep-rooted tradition, and that was why I'm not suggesting that I'm insisting that happens, because obviously I wouldn't impose my my manners and deportment on other people. But that is why I was standing. It was purely from force of habit. But I mean, again, from force of habit, I will. Good evening, everybody. I'd already spoken to this this gentleman over my right shoulder.
Yes, I noticed, Mr. Sanderson. He is head of my guard.
That's a lovely name. Hello to everybody. My name is my name is Dermal. Although there's been some confusion about Loraga. Do you mind if I call you Loraga, or would you prefer Mr. Swordhand or Lord Protector? Or
No, we are family, young man. You may call me Loraga if that is what is best, and I will continue to call you Dermal if this is what you prefer. But please do know your name is Euclid.
Yes, so I've already introduced myself to Mr. Sanderson and Mr. Loraga. My name is Dermal. And you are, and I'll address the lady because she's at the table.
She sort of looks at you. She looks at you and looks around the rest of the room, and sort of as she catches Dabov's eye, she sort of just throws him a little wink. She is again. She's human, and at that point, she doesn't say anything. But what she does is she sort of pulls her chair out, and she stands up and she walks her way around the table, and she walks over to Loraga in particular, and she just leans over and just whispers a couple of things in his ear.
Oh, fucking hell.
Can I attempt to hear that? Since I'm right next to them?
Okay, roll me a perception, please. Just straight.
Perception.
Is there only Dabov that recognised her?
No, you can roll a perception for it.
I rolled 23 for
Okay.
mine, by the way.
You don't hear everything, but what you do hear you do hear Rufflecopter's name, you do hear Xanthar's Keep name.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 9, so I don't think I recognise her, do I?
Okay. And he's as she's whispering, he just suddenly goes, "Now, well, is that so?" And she sort of just straightens up and says,
Can I message to Dweezil that what I just heard and who I think she is and what I think she's just said to him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just use my message cantrip to just say to Dweezil, she killed Rufflecopter and she's just mentioned Rufflecopter's name and was it Xanathar's Keep?
I can reply back, can't I, with message?
I think so. Let me just double check.
You will have to be careful because I think you have to whisper.
Yeah,
so while
you
no
can
one
reply in a
hear
whisper, but I don't have to say
I
it in a
assume
whisper.
that I assume people could see that you're moving your lips.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't. Oh, actually, yeah, I have to whisper, but I'm wearing my owl mask. If that helps. Like I said, I was wearing it from the get-go, so people.
you did, and I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, people can't see my face, so I am going to whisper that to Dweezil.
Okay, so you do that. That's fine. No one notices. They're too intent on their little conversation.
What I will do is I will visibly to Dabov. I will scratch at my eye at the birthmark, and I will just kind of smirk, and as almost through the medium of the nonchalant shoulder shrug, I will convey, "Shall we just murder everyone?"
I'm going to send another message to Dweezil and just say, like, I'm keeping one hand on my sword, and then winks. Kind of irrelevant with the mask. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm ready whenever you are. Just give the signal.
DTF.
Okay, down to
Fight?
Fillet.
down to fillet. Yeah.
Dab off table.
Okay.
Fuck.
So this what's Dermal's middle name? Does it begin with a T by any chance? Dermal Tiamat Fenzelbunk.
Tyrone.
Oh,
Tyrone. Terry.
Okay, so this lady sort of whispers into his ear, and he's like, "Well, is that so?" And he says, "First of all, I'd like to present my associate, Anastasia. She handles my very special projects, and she told me she saw you in Xanthal's Keep, where you were with the brigand, Rufflecopter. She assures me that you had the situation under control and that you were looking to bring him to my house. I think that means that you are entitled to the 5,000 gold piece reward. Chadelaide, please bring them the reward.
This is a fantastic impression, Nathan.
This is good.
Have you done much work on it? Have you been practicing?
Oh, you wouldn't. Listen. This boy, this character, I literally have been waiting about a year to introduce to you all. Nice. So yes, that's how long I've been doing this voice. Charlie goes, whoa, that's totally cool. I'll go and get the money, and you're sure. And he sort of, you see him leave the room, and he heads off and says, there was a reward for his head. I see no reason why you should not have that money. I'm assuming that is correct. You were going to bring the brigand to me.
That was the plan. We were at Xanthal's Keep to find him, to bring him here. We'd been on his trail for weeks. I think was it since Tribor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a wanted sign in Tribor, of all places, and had been on his trail for some time, and had every intention of bringing him here for the reward.
Well, I thank you for your service. He was a thorn in my side for quite some time, so thank you very much. I'm sure this is well earned. If you were travelling from Tribor to Xanthal's Keep, that in itself is no easy journey. So please, I wish for you to take this money with no regrets. And at that sort of point, almost poignantly, Chadelaide enters the back, comes back in with two quite large sacks, and he sort of puts them down at the seats that are currently unoccupied by Krill and Mendel, I guess. And he throws them. Then you hear this sort of the noise of all this coins just like clinking against each other as they hit the table.
I look round at everyone, looking for some kind of non-verbal cue to do.
Raise hell?
Shall I pick them? No, shall I pick the money up first and put that in the bag of holding before we kill everyone?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Take 40 gold pieces out before you hand anything to Krill. I like the fact you say in the kitty, like 5,000 gold pieces is quite a considerable amount, and like the fact that you've just got that hanging off the back of your belt or something. It's quite
no, in the bag of holding.
Oh, of course, in the bag of holding, yeah, with everything else.
Is there anything flammable in this room?
There's quite a lot. I mean, you see a painting up on the wall of some unicorns playing poker.
No, really?
Yeah,
we're having that once it's all done.
No, we've already had one of them.
What? Then we'll have another
companion piece.
You see in the room. I mean, there's like there's a bookcase to the north. There's a fireplace to the west. There's also a cupboard up in the north, which appears to have a variety of sort of crockery and cutlery and stuff like that, which could be rolled out for emergencies. And obviously, then you know the chairs you're on have upholstery on, which is flammable.
Okay, Quinch points to the fireplace and says, "May I?"
Yes, you may. If you wish to fly up it, or
I'm intending to light the fire.
Oh, of course, yes. It's rather chilly morning. Yes, go ahead.
So Quinch picks up one of the logs and sets it alight.
I am putting the two sacks into the bag of holding, but what I've done is I have, rather than adding 5,000 gold pieces to my inventory, I have added a custom item, 5,000 GP, that is in the bag of holding in case it turns out to not be 5,000 GP or so on.
Okay. Anyway, we should dine. Chadelaide, can you ensure that the first courses are brought out? And Chadelaide scuttles off, and he returns with. And at this point as well, the Anastasia has gone and taken her seat as well, and she's just eyeing all of you like toyfully. I think is the best word. She's sort of like she's sort of just she's not really like there's no sort of flirtatious look about it, but she's sort of like almost like you're her dinner sort of thing. Okay.
Quinch is just for the record. Quinch is going to remove the quill and pop it back into his satchel.
Oh, I mean, that's symbolic, isn't it?
We are going to fight these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to say to Dweezil again via message, give me the signal and I'll get it started. I've got an idea.
Okay, so Chadelaide walks back into the room, followed by a couple of what appear to be like maids or something, and they're carrying some trays. And he comes and he sets down some. They collectively set down some food. He says, "I've got for you to start an appetizer of some grilled octopus with roasted garlic and lemon vinaigrette, or some roasted beetroot with goat's cheese and hazelnuts. We also have a nice selection of soups with a lobster bisque or a roasted tomato soup with basil oil. Please enjoy."
This does sound nice, Daboff.
Yes, we thought we'd cater for both the meat eaters amongst you and those of the vegetarian persuasion. Please dine.
Should we eat the food?
Could be poison though.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm 100%
I'm pretty
eating that
much-
octopus already.
I'm against eating it.
Hey,
Well, Dabo's wearing his mask, so he's not going to take it off.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
Soup up to the mask and it just spills down.
Just splashing it on the front.
Okay, so who's it? So just so I know, for just purely roleplay purposes, who's eating and who's not eating?
Oh, Greg doesn't even question it. He's face first into the food already.
Okay, Ima eats.
Dabov isn't, because he's still, I don't know, he's still waiting for the combat to kick off.
We're all
so-
sort of just floating, like ready to
Dermal hasn't even sat down yet.
Same. Crow's still hovering.
So Gregomel's eaten.
Any reaction from Gregor?
To
It's
that point,
delicious.
hang on, the fact that Dermal / Dweezil / Euclid is still standing, Loraga turns to him and says, "Now we have all introduced ourselves, and you are still standing, Euclid. Please, sorry, my apologies, Dermal. Please seat yourself, or perhaps, if you would prefer, would you rather that you and I went elsewhere and were able to reacquaint ourselves? I could perhaps tell you some more about your past, if that is something that is more important to you."
No, I think you're right. I think it is. No, yeah, it is time. And I go to pull the chair out and I say, "Derek time!"
Like, just give me a subtle nod.
And then I nod like that. I go, "It's Derek time."
I'm going to take that as a sign, and I'm going to message to Quinch, and I'm going to just, again, another message, just say, get away from the fire.
Quinch.
Just, like, come up with some excuse, but keep it subtle.
Chadelaide,
Yeah.
before I tuck into this wonderful meal, could you show me, is the toilet in this room?
Yeah, the fireplace actually doubles up as a lavatory. So what you want to do is take a big no. No, I can certainly take you to the restroom area if that is something that you are wanting.
Ah, yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Of course.
So Quinch will stroll towards the door.
As soon as he's around the back of Greg, maybe, or that sort of area, away from the fireplace, I am going to throw my horn of gunpowder at the fire.
Let's fucking go.
And I'm hoping it will at least do a lot of damage to the assassin and those 3 guards stood next to the fire.
So you're throwing the horn of gunpowder at the fire, and you're hoping that does a lot of damage to the guards and Anastasia. Yeah?
Yes.
Why are you repeating it? It's a bit.
Quinch, as he's strolling over, Quinch puts his hand on the oil tooth bomb.
Wow, that's from like episode 3 or something. 4? That's definitely early.
Okay. All right. Dabov throws the gunpowder at the fire. The powder within erupts in a blaze of fire towards the people in the room. What an exceptional episode of Dyson Desire that was. I can't decide if my favourite part was when Quinch said the inappropriate thing, Dweezil scolded them all for being silly billies, or Greg just didn't know what was going on. Great stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening, and if you've enjoyed this, why don't you come and find us on social media, where you can interact with us on a daily basis and share some of your favourite parts. Or you can tell some friends and family, hopefully they listen, and that will help our visibility and even more people will find us. Or, finally, if you have any spare change that Krill doesn't know about, and you want to support us financially, no pressure, then why don't you head on over to Ko-fi and you can do just that. Right, I'm off. But, like Daboff, I will see you in a few days, whether you like it or not. Ciao!
In a world besieged by darkness, torn apart by hatred, where the cruel, the wicked, and the heartless rule over all, Romancing the Dungeon is an epic tale of 4 legendary heroes who unite in the name of love, unity, and friendship to bring light and hope back into the world.
Are you serious? Those 4 wouldn't know what love is even if it was tattooed on their asses. You got the wrong show if you think these 4 are love experts. I'm the only love expert you need, so we're doing this my way. If you desire romance, we got it.
Ah, there's my favorite person.
Morning.
How you doing, Angel?
Great.
Come here, and I sort of get in real close, and I like lips sort of purse, but I flutter my lips and give a little like.
And if you love drama, we got that too.
I need you to find and kill Eugenia Flatstone. I need her heart.
Okay, well we haven't. I think it's been a while since we've done the heart thing. How am I supposed to get that to you? Because I don't think walking around with an old lady's heart is gonna go well for me personally.
If action is your passion, well, there's plenty of that as well.
For my bonus action, I'm going to use Blessing of the Raven Queen to go behind the other guy.
Okay.
And basically come up behind him with a dagger to his neck to get him to stop.
God damn.
What the fuck happened to you in the woods?
Join Thane, Thea, Nate, and Hephaestus as they put their hearts and my reputation on the line in a race to rescue an eccentric bride from the clutches of evil, battle against the insatiable forces of darkness, and try not to die along the way, I suppose.
I start taking my clothes off.
Okay.
And I take a blanket from the bed, and I wrap it around me, and I start following the steps, and I go, I'm a greasy little peanut. I'm a greasy little peanut. I'm a greasy little peanut.
Oh, for the love of... I don't even know why I bother.
Romancing the Dungeon, a softcore D&D podcast about 4 heroes on a quest for true love and discovering what that really means for them. Available wherever good podcasts are found.
Good podcasts? Well, that's blatant false advertising.